That's the love I wanna find. Be my Valentine, baby.
Okay, unmute. Hello?
Hello? Oh, hello.
Music.
Hello and welcome. I'm Fong Yi and I'll be your host for tonight. Thank you for joining us for another session of the JPO program. Tonight, JPO are very honored to invite Mr. Chang as our special guest to share about classical music impact in me. Before we start, let's have a brief intro about Mr. Chong. Mr. Chong is a local Sabahan born in Papar who plays an active role in the arts scene in Kota Kinabalu. He is a composer, a music producer, an event organizer, and an architectural graduate from the UK. He is also founded a pop jazz band named Jackfruit, where the band released 2 albums and 1 EP and performed in several music festivals such as JB Arts Festivals, Sunset Music Fest in the tip of Borneo, and also the first Malaysian group to perform in China's Nanjing International Jazz Festival in 2011. Serving his second term as president of SPARKS, which is the Society of Performing Arts, Kota Kinabalu, since 2007, Mr. Chong is actively participating in organizing the annual events of KK Jazz Festival, together with the Lottery Club of Kota Kinabalu. Not only that, as the organizing chairman and event advisor, he is also involved in numerous charity events. Returning to his core as a design consultant, Mr. Chong is reputable for his unorthodox approach to his architectural designs, where one of his renowned and most influential pieces, which is the upside-down house in Borneo, known as Rumah Terbalik. Before we start the interview, if you have any question to ask, please type them in the Q&A below, and they will be answered later. Thank you, Mr. Chong, for joining us today.
Thank you.
The first question I would like to ask is about your composer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, can you share with us at what age do you start composing and in what genre? And what influenced you to compose?
Well, music started when I had the when I was 12. I started to learn the Yamaha organ. Then within 1 year, I realized I can play many songs with the chord that I learned. Then when I went to Form 1, so listened to like bands of like Bee Gees, Beatles, and all that. So those are the bands that inspired me to actually. That time I didn't really call it a composition. I just more or less like put up a few notes, few melodies, and then just enjoying myself and share with friends. Oh yeah, I've done this one, so it's quite fun. So then since then, I think every time when I'm on the piano, I actually just improvise and just play around and find all possibilities in finding more new rhythm, finding new melodies and all that new possibility to put up a song. So well, I enjoy doing that, and until now, yeah.
Oh, do you only play on the Yamaha organ or just the piano or something? And any other instruments?
Yeah, my main instrument is actually piano. Because I learned organ briefly for about 3 years. Then during that time, still a kid, a teenager, I participate in many charity concerts or even the music school concert on the local TV show. Then when I went to study in London, so my aunties actually only have one old piano there. So I think that's the only instrument that I can entertain myself. So from there, so I think I kind of uh, attained my piano playing from there. So since then, my main instruments remain as piano. So, but I also play a little bit of guitar and drums as well. Yeah. So composing composing songs, I usually prefer to use guitar rather than piano because piano I can play many notes. Sometimes my hand will control my creativity, you know. So because my guitar playing is not so good, then I probably just come up with some free rhythm. So the melody is in my head is actually quite free. Like I can have also a possibility, like nothing control me and all that. You know, if I'm on the piano, I probably because my finger will tell me what to do. You know, so that's not really a good idea to compose with piano. But I do also compose with piano. You know, just some sharing with you.
Interesting. Could you share with us about the Jackfruit project that just now I have read through? You have released 2 albums and some
Yeah.
performance in the Beijing and in the China Nanjing, right?
Yes. Yes. Okay. When I came back in '92, so didn't like because over here I occasionally I will like look for people like whether they have recording studio here and there until then someone introduced me like passed me the album of Roger Wang. That time is a double take, so I listened to the quality and said wow, that's really good. So I said, oh, maybe I can actually because I always want to do recording for my song but just cannot find the right place or the right spot to do it. So I was like quite thrilled to see we have such a good quality, quite a high high standard production in KK. So then I started to group my friends. I talked to my brother first. Michael is a professional drummer. That time he was in KL. So I said, shall we form a group to do, you know, because uh, I don't actually compose song first to make an album because I know that with the years of experience, we formed the I started the project first. Then I started to uh, 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 fill up the album with songs, you know, things like that, you know. So like just now the first video clip, the first video clip, the title is Valentine. Is on first album. So you know, love song is very easy to compose, you know. So it like took me about 5 minutes to finish that. Then by coincidence, I think Yap Ling played the second piece, which is titled Cool Air. This song actually have the same chord progression, you know, but Cool Air remained quite popular. I think uh, many music students they actually have came across with this piece and don't know that it's from me, and they first introduced about improvisation and all that. And my kids actually told me that this song is actually played regularly in many function in Hakka Hall, you know. But so anyway, so I'm happy that they like the music. So yeah, so the possibility, I mean, we can just like if you use like a few chords, you can have many possibilities to come up with many songs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Chong, can you share for us your experience in Nanjing Jazz Festival?
Okay, Nanjing Jazz. Actually, that time I was preparing the second album. Then I got a call from someone that I know from one jazz festival. So then I just sent my my first album to Nanjing for their approval. Actually, you know. So then apparently the panel they are very happy. They like the song from the first album. So and that's the problem is because we were thinking actually perform the song from second album in Nanjing, you know, but they
Oh.
kind of give us a list of all the song from the first song. So then I talked to the music director. The music director said, "Oh, okay, these are the few songs that I like. The rest you can just pick from your second album, you know." So that was quite fun. And then I learned a lot because I'm in a committee of KK Jazz Festival. So it is very, very interesting and very important for me to actually see how other organizations organize their festival. So Nanjing is very unique. So is in terms of costing, they actually make it like a very minimum, because they every years they invited 10 groups, think mostly international group. Then we perform three in the duration of 10 days. Each band have to perform 3 gigs. So we are actually running all over the place. I think they have more than eight different venues to shuffle us around. So that's why we didn't manage to mix around with other groups, So not like KK Jazz. KK Jazz, we have one main stage and then everybody is there, so we can. It's a better gathering. But then the Nanjing is quite special. Every we perform three shows. One in University, which is the drama college, and the other one is the other two is that was in the jazz bar. What is this? This one is I think it's question and answer thing. Okay, yeah. So quite interesting. Yeah, the way they organize this thing is but we are very happy because 3 of our gigs is all full house, So people have to actually stand at the back, So we really had a good time, Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chong. Can you share for us how does classical music was introduced to you and how the impact towards you?
Yeah. I think during I actually spent 10 years in London. So from 81 until 92. But classical music didn't actually, because classical music is not mainstream like pop chart, like the UK top 40, So and most of the we are of course, most people there, we are very familiar with the mainstream top 40 songs. But then we also, if we like music, we also have friends like introduce, like, wow, this is cool, why don't you listen to this? So I was introduced jazz music, actually mostly by my Malay friend, because most of my Chinese friend, they all listen to Canton pop, So then I was actually introduced by a Malay friend on jazz. Then the classical side, because in 1987, I actually have one architecture project relate to classical music. But then in 1990, there's a magazine just launched called Classic CD. So I didn't pay much attention to it. So then my sister actually bought the 3rd issue. Then she just put the magazine just in the living room, and nobody paid attention to it. So then so I picked up that CD. I usually very fair to a different genre of music. So I said, okay, I don't know you, so now I give you a chance, like 1 week. I'm going to play you every day, see whether I will like it. I will like you, things like that, So I start to play this particular CD. You can see in the screen, Classic CD Volume 3. I played, I think, 3 times a day, again and again. After 1 week, there's no turning back. I think that's why from there, there's one piece called opera piece, something was by Verdi. So that melody is so powerful. Until today, it's like, wow, I think that's the best piece, But again, this piece is actually not the what do you call the so-called opera gala standard, So until today, because in London, I actually went to a few opera gala concert, things like that, and nobody sing the song from this particular opera, this Mercy, this like a thank you song, So I don't know, and then occasionally I have through Yapling's contact and some other friends' contact, if I met some those people doing I don't know what I call it, vocal, right? Yeah. So when I mentioned this one, they were like really surprised. That, oh, how come you know this piece? It's like You know, in Chinese we say very 很冷门, you know, it's like a, not really mainstream, you know. So, but this particular piece, I will recommend all of you to actually, you know, to listen to it. It's very, very powerful. Until today, I still think it's more powerful than those so-called standard like Omna Babi and all that, you know. So, yeah, and then another few tracks in that particular CD. Also, like wow, it's like give me a really a big hit like this medicine octet. It's like amazing. So it's like octet. I said, oh, probably the easiest way is just put two quartet together. 4 plus 4 equal 8. And I told Yapling that I was so happy that I think one of the JPO performance in Sabah Art Gallery. So they actually performed that particular piece. I was so happy, you know, because that one is like one of my favorite, you know. And the other one is Mozart's a great mass, because mass is not a very easy piece for people to actually remember the melody and all that, you know. But this great mass in C minor, Kyrie, the first part, I don't think they call it first movement, first part, Kyrie. I also listened it to probably more than 100 times. So I know the melody is like really, really in details. So I think that particular CD actually opened up to this a big door to classical music, you know. So I think from there's no turning back, you know. Yeah. So yeah. Okay, so I see in the screen this violinist, Sherway. Sherway, because when I was probably like very biased, you know. So I said, yeah, I only like piano. I don't like violin. The sound of violin is too sharp, you know, not my cup of tea. Then, well, then after a few issues, because from the third issue, I started to buy every issue, the classic CD. Until I think the Sherway one is issue number 5, I think. Then, of course, you know, when I play this CD, I didn't actually check what are the track and who are they. I just played like a background music. And then I was doing my design work and all that. If a particular piece can actually disturb my work, I was like, wow, this music is so good. So then only then I would check, who is this artist? What music? What piece is that? You know. So then this is a very good experience with this Tchaikovsky's second movement of Violin Concerto. I said, how come this guy can play this violin to make it sound so sad? You know, it's amazing. You know. Then so I went around to check the full album. Then I look at the album. That time I find it very expensive. So wow, like I think £12 or whatever. Some of the pop CD you can buy for maybe £8 or whatever. So then I bought a cheaper version played by others. You know, the same piece, Tchaikovsky Violin Concerto. So I bought this by other player. I tell you, that time I understand, even though it's the same piece, different player, the flavor will definitely come out differently. So it's a very, very yeah. I learned something from this piece. Then interesting enough, one of my friend, so I invited her to come for dinner in my house, and then she told me that. So I shared with, because this friend was from China, so I said, hey, you know, this classic song, you know, this few days I've been listening to this again and again, you know, this one, Sherway, the Tchaikovsky Violin Concerto. Then she said, hey, 当然我认识他，是我朋友啊, it's her friend. I said, really? Can you introduce me to meet him? He said, sure, no problem. So I was like so honored. So like imagine like he's like my top list of top violinists. You know? So then have a chance to meet him. I went to his house. So we spent a night talking about sharing music and all that. He actually asked me to recommend him what pop music to listen to, you know. So I actually said, well, probably you can try Prince, you know. then I remember I asked him one question. I said, so who inspired you? Who is your idol? Things like that, no? So, and then he mentioned, well, Heifetz. Heifetz, okay. So I said, oh, okay. I said, how do you spell it? Heifetz. So I know it down actually, Then I went back, so I shared with my sister. I was like really, really, really excited. I said, wow, I have, I have a chat with Sherry, it's like, wow, so excited now. So I said, and then he told me that, I must listen to this Heifetz. So then my sister said, huh? What are you talking about? You're playing this piece every day. I said, which one? Then I look, then I go and dig out all the classic CD. Oh, that's the one, the Scottish Fantasy by Max Bush. So, because the music I play, sometimes I don't really look into all the detail, and then even when I came across the name, I don't really remember who is Heifetz, until Sherry actually told me that that's his mentor. Then I was so happy that oh, okay, I actually know this piece, Then the amazing thing is, I actually because of nowadays with YouTube and all that, then I found out actually the time when I met him, I was actually just finished my architecture study, waiting for my time to attend the graduation, and he was only 2 years older than me, and he was already the professor in Royal College of Music. So he's the youngest professor in Royal College of Music in history. So it's like really that amazing. So yeah, that's a good experience. Thanks to Classic CD also. Yeah. So that been a very fond memory of to me. Yeah.
Mm. Okay, thank you, Mr. Chong. In case you all didn't know, Mr. Chong was also a former committee member of JPO and was quite instrumental in JPO's early years. And by the way, his daughter, Xinyi, is also JPO's violinist.
Violist.
Violist, sorry, violist. Okay, next question. From your view on the relationship between pop and rock artists and classic artists, what's the relationship between them?
I think if we call ourselves music maker, because people respond think differently. People actually what do you call it, approach their work have different way approach their own like music. So it's up to individual whether they want to like have something to like do a bit like crossover or fusion things like that. So there's actually no boundary. So things like I think recently there's a movie Bohemian Rhapsody. So it was so Freddie Mercury was actually like bombarded by the record company, saying that how can we introduce opera to the rock song, things like that. So so I think it depends your individual, your own creativity, and of course you need to have some really like understand the music, how to blend it together. What I think is it's quite fun to do something different. So now on the screen is this picture. Yeah, I want to share a little bit of this one because there's one rock band called Dire Straits. Dire Straits, the leader is Mark Knopfler. Mark Knopfler, he's a very, very good guitarist. And this is one of his famous song, Money for Nothing. Many of his songs has been, if you check YouTube, many people all over the world actually playing cover for his song, Sultan of Swing. Even the Chinese girl using guzheng to play, he's one of the most influential guitarists in the world. And in 1987, he was actually invited to compose the soundtrack for this particular movie, Princess Bride. So I'm a big fan of Dire Straits and Mark Knopfler. So I bought this album, and to my surprise, this particular one, There's one track called Morning Ride. Morning Ride, it is like a symphony, you know. It's so he is actually like doing a full classical composition for the soundtrack. It's really quite amazing. I mean, it's very inspiring because I said, oh wow, okay, so this Mark Knopfler, he's a legend, you know. But and then he doesn't give himself a boundary, you know. So he even opened himself to like have all opportunity to like try something new, things like that, you know. Even like I think some Latin artists, bossa nova or samba, they also take this what we call the classical music to play in like samba way, a Latin music style and all that, you know. So it's actually up to individual to have fun with the music, you know. So like there's one very famous another guitar legend called Malmsteen. He is actually heavy metal guy, and one of his famous track is actually I think a piece from Bach, you know. So there's a lot of crossover. Good example where you can find, you know. So I think it's very interesting, you know. So yeah, so there's no boundary. Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Chong, will you compose for classical piece too?
I yeah, I have actually tried to come up with some tune, you know, some melody, and but more on like probably more because I'm not classical trained, and then also I only have that few years of music studies with organ, you know. So in terms of playing skill, I probably don't have the finger power like all the classical trained no player. So yeah, but I like to compose melodies and all that. I actually have composed one piece, and I think I showed it to Yaplings once, but now still like still not being materialized yet, you know. Then so on the screen is the Tadao Ando. I actually have this education project for the Malaysia Institute of Architect here to study the work by Tadao Ando. So and then when I come back, I need to present a slideshow. So from this slideshow, I it break into three parts. So I took this opportunity to compose something like a soundtrack for this presentation, and the title is Pure. Of course, the violin played by Yapling, you know. So that one I wouldn't call it like classical, but it's more like a soundtrack composition, you know. It's quite fun, you know. Yeah.
Okay, now we have some questions from the attendees. The first
Okay.
question is, how does Mr. Chong compose, like how to start a composition?
Okay. Because I do compare the the people who attend the composition studies and those like without like going through those with different discipline. That's mean like they play as well. So if you can pick up some instrument, probably the easiest way is like if you know some chords and you understand the chord progression, then you have to. I was I'll recommend the composer need to sing it out, you know, sing out, and then so your the melody will be very natural, you know. So most of my composition I actually hum it out first, you know. So of course if you ask me to write it down, probably it take me 2 years to write one like a 1 minute piece, you know. So it's faster that I hum it out, you know. Then I just use my handphone to record the melody, you know. So I think that's the easiest way. Of course, then if you know more chords is an advantage, or and also more fun, but not necessarily that you know well because uh, in the market, there are a lot of like a big hit that actually is a repetitive of 4 chords, you know. Like recently, the Dance Funky, you know?
Yes.
Only 4 chords, again and again. And then recently, the industrial music scene is actually go back to basic, you know. So I think from 10 years ago, like people just use piano, and then they can just very very simple. And then Maroon 5 especially, these 2 songs like Girls Like You and Memories is like so simple, just based on this loop of these few chords. You know, I think it's a very very powerful melody. You know, it's because the pop music world is very very cruel, you know, because the percentage of being success, being like a known by, you know, it's like a really like a one in 1 to 100 chances, that sort of thing, you know. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chong. Next question. What type of music does Mr. Chong prefer? Rock, pop, or jazz?
Yeah, because I like many types of music. But if I'm on the piano, I most of the time will play like bossa nova, like a light Latin jazz, things like that. You know, I like to turn everything into bossa nova, including E flat Nocturne by Chopin. So yeah, I like pop jazz and all that. You know, the heavy jazz, not really my cup of tea, because I'm not saying that I don't enjoy it, but if you ask me to listen to like an improvisation for like a really hardcore jazz, like 2 hours in a row, like probably I couldn't stand it, you know. But then it's some very light jazz song, like Frank Sinatra, bossa nova, or even David Sanborn, that kind of thing. I can listen again and again, you know, things like that. Yeah. So that one is even like Sting. Sting is my idol actually. Sting actually, the first album, Dream of Blue Turtle, is almost like turned into like a jazz album, you know. Yeah, jazz. Yes.
Okay. Next question is, sorry. What advice would Mr. Chong give to young aspiring composers?
I think the word composer probably like too heavy for many people. Maybe people usually just say, "Oh, just singer songwriter." I think my number one advice is you need to sing. You need to sing. If you can sing like 200 songs, you know. So yeah, if there are 200 songs that you can sing, you know, that's in from start to finish, you know. So the whole song, the complete songs, then that would be then from there you should be able to have a bit of skill or some experience or like understanding of song structure and composition, you know. Yeah, instead of people learning like putting notation, you know. Even I think we're all familiar with the movie Amadeus, you know, like Mozart is like, wow, this impression cam, and then boom, 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 we just put in notes, things like that's like amazing. I don't know how many human beings can work like him, you know. So my advice is you have to listen to different type of songs, find a song that you like, start to sing, you know. Choose the song that you can sing, don't choose the song you cannot sing. Yeah.
Okay. Next question, Mr. Chong. So, does Mr. Chong compose pop music as well?
Yeah, I actually compose a lot of pop music because I have donated my composition to I think more than 12 organizations, you know, like Rotary Club, like some environmental, like Child Care Association, things like that. I use pop approach, you know, instead of those like patriotic marching songs, things like that, you know. Yeah, but I learned something from my theme song composition as well, you know. So when I did the first one, of course I tested, I recorded, you know, and then and then when I asked the group to sing it, nobody can sing it. Only a few of us can sing it. So then I understand when you compose a song for general public in a way, you know, it's important that everybody can pick up the song, you know. So yeah, I compose mostly a pop song, if like I would add jazz flavor to my pop song actually, yeah, just to make it like a bit of a diminished, like a 7/9, flat 9, that sort of thing, to make it more tasty. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. How about how many gigs has Mr. Chong have done?
Uh, Not many actually. And because when I bump into like friends, like especially music friend or those people, those musicians, they just get to know me. They said, "Oh, you have albums, this and that, no? How often is that?" Actually, not often. I said because I'm quite busy, and then uh, we have to arrange because usually I will prepare. I will prepare things like I think I've done more than 10 performances easily. Not many, not like Yapling, like 4,000, right? So yeah. So and then I will also spend time to probably help to organize events, things like that. But I usually create project for my music urge, like and one of the and because the different location of the world, they have different exposure. So I like to introduce like more music to this part of the world. Like one of the concert performed by Jackfruit is a tribute to John Lennon, and even I think most people they only know 2 or 3 songs from John Lennon. So that song is like the whole concert is actually a tribute to John Lennon. So then I make more music friends that know more songs from John Lennon. So things like that. Yeah. So yeah, so I create my own event, and occasionally I think in invitation or festival, not many. Yeah, I think if I count probably around 10 or less than 10. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Next question will be, what is Mr. Chong's opinion on late jazz musician such as John Coltrane, Duke Ellington,
Ellington.
and
Yeah.
yeah, and do they give you any inspiration when you are composing if they do?
Uh, I'm not familiar with their song, because like we are looking when you look at the availability of all the music is like you are looking out to an ocean. It's like wow, there's so many, and where you're going to pick up. So most of the time it's actually introduced by friends. Oh, this is nice. So I was actually my main influence is actually from this Antonio Carlos Jobim. And this album is actually introduced by a friend from Mauritius. Then he introduced to this album. That time is like a record, the vinyl. So I played and I couldn't stop. I said, "Wow, this is amazing." Only then I realized that this is bossa nova. So yeah, bossa nova. And then of course for the Jackfruit album, I was actually having the approach like a more like a new wave of jazz production, things like people like Bob James and David Sanborn, things like that. So like short piece, it's like not heavy. It's quite exciting. You can dance with it. Yeah. So yeah, I have many David Sanborn's album and Bob James as well. Yeah. So the old one, probably the old one, I think the one I listen again and again is Billie Holiday's. Actually, sometimes I enjoy singing like her. You know Billie Holiday?
No. Yeah.
Huh? You
Yeah.
try and play, Actually, I enjoy singing 2 of her songs like Stormy Weather and Don't Explain. Sometimes I like to imitate the way her singing style, like pretend that I'm Billie Holiday. Then I
Okay.
switch off the light.
Right. Next question is from George Ngui. So, classic vs pop vs rock and vs jazz. How will you find yourself fit into them?
Uh, Fit in. Okay, I put it this way. Um, I don't think I can. Not. I don't think. I'm very sure that I won't be able to perform uh, like classical music. Like there's no way I can perform like a piece from Chopin or whatever, you know. And so in classical music, I remain myself as a big fan, you know. So like I will promote classical jazz music, classical music to many people, like sharing with friends, things like that, you know. And uh, uh, classical music is very beautiful, but I don't see myself fitting in terms of performance or doing an album. But pop rock jazz, no problem. Yeah, pop rock jazz I can do anytime. Even I'm actually thinking in between, you know, blues. You know, blues is kind of in between rock and jazz, you know. So yeah, I probably will have one album just focus on blues. You know, that'll be fun. Yeah.
Okay. Next question. Did you have your own music producing company?
No, I don't need that. Yeah, most of my production I actually collaborate with Roger Wang. So far I've also tried with others, but I think Roger Wang's well, so far I've done many production with him, you know. Even and then there's one experience I want to share with you is okay, I sidetrack a bit, you know. So there's one intern in Roger's studio. I think that was in 2000, 2007 or 2008, like things like that. So this girl, like she is very polite and asked my permission. Said, "Can I sit behind Roger and you while you are doing your production?" So I said, "Oh, it should be okay, no problem." So she was like, "Okay, then because usually when I call Roger, I will say, okay, I'll be there from 2 to 3. Okay, then 3 I have to leave already, you know. So I'm not like some musician they can like record again and again for the whole night, 7 hours. No, I can't do that, you know. Usually I go there, I know what I want to do, and then I just go straight to the thing. If it's not right, we sort of like we sort it out on the spot, and then we just get it done there. Uh, so that yeah, I say yes to this girl. I said yeah, no problem. You can sit behind me, behind us also, and then and then I think within 45 minutes we're able to complete that one. That piece is a blues composition. So she was like huh? This is actually how we did it. I couldn't understand how we can manage to finish this one so fast within 45 minutes. So I said, okay, I apologize because you know when you have worked with someone like for a few like few projects, you know, so you kind of know their working style. So probably this girl expect a lot of like a very intellectual conversation between Roger and I. Actually, end up we only said, is it okay? No? Okay, why don't we do this? Yeah, I think that sounds okay. Then, and then very, within a short while, done. So yeah. Uh, yeah, I don't need to own a studio because I'm not doing like recording all the time, you know. I think it's easier for me to just go around. Even some people they can just use laptop, you know, they can record at home, you know. Yeah, nowadays even I think with handphone you can do that also, you know. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, next question will be, usually how long does it take to produce an EP?
EP. Actually, this is a very important question. Actually, you know, uh, I actually learned from the first album. The first album, like when I deal with them, I said, wow, problem is like a never finished one, even close to 1 year still not finished. So then I said, okay, so I'm gonna make sure. So you know how I kind of you have to put a deadline to it. So I put a deadline. I said, this date we're going to have a concert to launch this album, So we have no choice. We have to work backward from we have to work no, like from the date. So okay, this is the launching date. So we must have our CD ready. So then we must have time to get our CD to duplicate, to print and all that, and then and then the delivery. So we have to all that we have to work backward, So I think time management is very important, I mean things like even if you have a concert, I think you need to fix the date, right? But if you don't fix the date, that will be a problem, So let's say produce one album. Your question is EP, right? EP. Let's say if I tell you, because recording studio, the cost is run by hours, so it's not wise to spend like 200 hours there. It will cost you a bomb, So I'd rather at home you sort out what you want to do, and then you go there, pop, within 1 hour you just get it done, So that's mean the recording part probably you try to manage it as less cost as possible, because budget is very important, Then don't forget you need to design a cover, things like that, So it's good to have friends. It's a graphic designer, probably he won't charge you so high or even give complimentary things like that, Then things like that, So I would recommend if just an EP, don't spend more than 1 month, to complete it. You spend more than 6 months, I think it's going to cost you a bomb,
Yeah,
Yeah,
very
yeah,
costly. Okay,
yeah.
next question from Simon Chong. During your composition, do you use digital audio workspace or any other music notation software, or do you write everything down on a piece of paper?
Yeah, on a piece of paper. I'm not so clever like Roger to know all the software and all that, So even when I work with him, I will actually draw diagram for the production, This one, and then the funny part is, many of us we are very obsessed with numbers, So Roger usually say, okay, you just play the bass part first and then the keyboard. So I play, Sometimes if the number come out, the tempo number come out to 114. Wow, yeah, stay, yeah. No lah. Well, how about 118? So we can do that. So probably I'll put a 108. Okay, things like that. This is the fun part of it. I mean, it won't make like such a big difference in terms of rhythm, So yeah, I just use like very, very basic old school, just like really like pen and paper to actually write it down, Like I don't know how to, I never like give myself an opportunity to learn it.
Softwares.
Yeah, maybe I ask my daughter to learn it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, next question. What should I think of when I'm composing a song or a piece?
Oh, okay. Yeah, this will be quite fun. Because like I said, maybe I can explain this one. I can answer this one with a few examples. Okay. Now, love song is actually very easy to compose for whatever reason. I don't know, like I love you, you love me, that kind of thing. Baby, I need you. That's why when I compose a Valentine, it's like so easy. Like I think less than 5 minutes, I finish the song already. Like dozen roses, hugs and kisses, happy Valentine's Day, baby. Like so easy. Then another track. So I want to like have fun with the lyrics and rhyme and all that. So then I actually, like let's do something sophisticated. So I was like, wow, really like Kiasu lyrics, like rhyme here and rhyme there, that sort of thing, So yeah. Then the rhyme, rhyme. You actually a fun part of writing song is to have rhyme, things like that. So, but rhyme is actually very easy, you know. So, when you're in kindergarten, they have necessary rhyme, right? So you should learn about rhyming since like 5 years old, you know. So, uh, but the fun part of doing the rhyme is this theme song I composed for PAM, the Pertubuhan Architect Malaysia. The title is Journey. I actually rhyme at let's say one sentence, right? I'm rhyme at the first word, the last word, and also at the center. So that is quite fun, you know. Like, but it's just like it's a personal choice. It's like how you want to have fun with your composition, you know. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chong. Okay, next one is from Susanna. Who, what, where, and how does Mr. Chong get your inspiration from?
Okay. Actually, if you listen to a lot of songs, like 1,000, 2,000 songs, so it's just like your head is like full of possibility, you know. Things like then that would be very helpful, you know. And songwriting actually for me is like not difficult, but the production part is difficult. Not say difficult. You need to work harder for the production part, because if you just come up with melodies and then just like, oh, I want to do this silly song, things like that, blah blah blah, then okay, then the second part is probably the lyrics, and then but it's always the production part. It will you need you really need to have like really need to be a good decision maker and able to close file. So like just now the three W, like who, what, who, where, and what.
Who, where, what, and how?
And how,
Who,
okay.
where, and how?
Yeah, I think if you listen to like many songs like have possibility, but that's why when I don't actually like wait for inspiration, you know. So I just work on it like using your own creativity, like what am I going to intro, because you see when this I just share with you one example, the Child Care Association, PPTS, Pertubuhan Taska Association Sabah. So when they say, oh, Koan, can you help us to write a theme song for child care? I was like, child care. I said, okay, childcare, all right. Like I tell you, I think not many songwriters in the world has composed song for childcare, you know. So then I was like, really don't know how to start, you know. So I was like, then I was actually looking for like guidance, not really inspiration, guidance, like how to approach this song. Imagine when they ask in front of you is a one piece of blank paper, right? So you just don't know what kind of music you're going to introduce, and you don't know whether they will like your composition or not. So then I asked them, I said, hey, can you give me your constitution? Let me read a little bit of your background, things like that, you know. So then I look at their logo. So the logo actually designed by one architect also, and then it has some like design concept to the design of the logo for this childcare association. So I read it out. Hey, so you see my finger is doing that. You know, I was actually doing that in front when I read the constitution in front of my grand piano. So that's okay. Childcare is about love, all right. So the title I said Circle of Love. So then sometimes you need guidance, you know. So it's more than just inspiration. Inspiration is like if you have a lot of possibility, sometimes you say, okay, let's have some fun with finger. Just open the piano and your piano, and you just start playing. Things like that. Oh, this is nice. This is that. So you actually like what they call it, search for like more possibilities in having some like new melodies or new rhythm to your song, things like that. You know, this inspiration thing, like I don't know whether it worked for me, but probably it does. You see, even when I'm driving, let's say if I travel in a plane, a train, I was actually humming like melody, just like without lyrics, things like that. So that would actually help, Not sure whether answer the question. Yeah.
Okay. Uh, Sorry guys, because we are running out of time, but do stay tuned while the speaker will answer the remaining question later by typing in the box. Another broadcast will be on tomorrow night at the same time, 9 p.m. Please check for the link at our JPO Facebook page and stay tuned. You guys have been great. Thanks for all the questions you have provided. I hope you got your answers that you want. Love you guys and be safe, be healthy, and stay home. Now, let's welcome Eric. Eric will lead the prayer to end tonight's program.
Okay. Welcome all the members to this broadcast. First of all, I will praying as a Catholic member. So any of you with different religion, you are all welcome to pray in the faith what you believe in. So let us pray. Most merciful and triune God, we come to you in our weakness, we come to you in our fear, we come to you with trust for you alone and one hope. We place before you the disease present in our world. We turn to you in our time of need. Bring wisdom to doctors, give understanding to scientists and the caregivers with compassion and generosity. Bring healing to those who are ill, protect those who are most at risk, give comfort to those who have lost a loved one. Welcome those who have died into your eternal home. So stabilize our communities, unite us in our compassion, remove all fear in our heart, fill us with confidence in your care. Amen. So thanks everyone for coming and joining this conversation today, and goodbye.